Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 899. I'm Kristin Omdahl, and we're here live in Southwest Florida at the beach. If you're joining me live, please say hello. Let me know. If you have any questions. Let me know if you've been crafting. Let me know what you have to say. Yes, we are at the beach today. Hi, Steffi. Good morning. Finally back to the Driftwood Forest. The kids are back in school, so no more camp. Hi, Judy and Marcia, Diamond Girl, Thea, Jane, Diane, Leona. Oh, there's fishermen around me. Joe, Kiranjit, Sharon, Lucy, Lisa, Joe, Sweet Melissa, Carrie, good morning everybody. Happy Wednesday. Good morning, Grace. Happy hump day. Hi, Lily. Good morning. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Claudia. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're having a great day so far. I'm excited to be back to my Driftwood Forest. Hi, Barbara. The kids have gone back to school and the camp is over, so I now have my little area back. Hi, Helen. Good morning. Hi, Brenda. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see the entire area where I'm sitting. It is so beautiful here. Here's to the south of me. I'm really tucked into this area. And here's to the east of me. The sun's behind those trees. And here's to the north of me. The inlet's up there, not too far from here. But I am pretty much covered. I'm pretty much protected inside this little driftwood forest, and I just love it here. It's so peaceful. It feels so spiritual to me. It is pretty quiet right now. Hi, Terry. There's a couple of fishermen. There's a fisherman tucked in right over there. There's a couple fishermen tucked in over there, but whatever. Hi, Melanie. I missed some names. Hi, Nancy from Africa. Where are you in Africa, Nancy? That's one place I definitely want to visit in my lifetime. I have wanted to go to Africa my whole life. I think it started, I saw the movie Born Free when I was little and really wanted to go to Africa to see the wildlife, and then watching Out of Africa in the 80s. Was that in the 80s? I think so. I fell in love with it even more, and I've read so many books about it too. I would love to go on a safari, and I'd love to go see all the different types of hand craftsmanship, as far as the creative side of things too. So between the wildlife and all types of handcrafts, I would love to go to Africa. You're in South Africa. Wonderful. That reminds me, I believe there was a book I read by Sidney Sheldon in the 80s also that was about diamond mines in South Africa. Does anybody remember what book that was? Was anybody a Sidney Sheldon fan in the 80s? Wait and see if anybody remembers. I can't remember. How beautiful is this here? How peaceful does this look today, right? It looks so peaceful here. So quiet. I suppose I should since I did a whole turnaround of the camera, I should take you closer to the water's edge too. It's really spectacular. And there's that bright green moss that grows on some of the branches. So beautiful. Here we are at the water's edge. Hi, Debbie. Good morning. Just spectacular. I wish I could stay here all day. Master of the Game. That's probably it, Steffi. That might be it. I'm going to look it up. Thank you. I've been wanting to reread that book for a long time. Oh, I will check that out. Thank you. I kept thinking it was a different name, and I can't remember right now, but I believe Master of the Game is it. I'm going to look it up. I've been rereading old books lately. Does anybody remember reading Jackie Collins books? in the 80s. I've been rereading the Lucky Santangelo series recently. It's very light fluff reading, but I've enjoyed it so much. I've been having so much fun. I just finished reading Chances, the first book in the Lucky Santangelo series, and I just started reading Lucky, the second book in the series by Jackie Collins, and I'm having so much fun. I've been finding them used on eBay, so fun. So the next author that I want to reread that I loved in the 80s is Sidney Sheldon, and I wanted to start with the Diamond Mine book, and I believe it is Master of the Game, so that's the next one I will be looking for used. So thank you, Steffi, I appreciate it. And all right, so I think everybody's here now, or a lot of people are here. Welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. I'm Kristin Omdahl. This is episode 899. Can you believe it? And we're here live in Southwest Florida at the beach in my favorite little cubby here, all the way around my driftwood forest. This is the Gulf of Mexico behind me. It's so beautiful here. Got several things to show you and share with you this morning, but if you have questions, always feel welcome to ask. And if you want to share something that you've been working on, that would be great too. I will share what I'm working on. Hi Andrea, I'm almost finished with my Be So Airy sun hat. This is a knit sun hat. Started at the crown. I'll cinch up that hole at the end. And I did the hat, crown, and the walls in stockinette, and then I switched to garter stitch for the brim, and I did a 50% increase to make just a nice flared brim on the hat. Cannot wait to finish it. So excited to wear it. Hopefully we'll have it done by this weekend. Thank you, Grace. I'm very excited about it. Do I have a Kobo or Kindle? No, I do not. Someone else recommended going to thrift stores. eBay is the biggest thrift store on the planet. That's where I buy my used books. I have much better selection there than going to thrift stores. I do very minimal shopping in person. I prefer to shop online. And eBay is my favorite place to find books. Unless I'm buying something new and brand new and something that I'm excited about and don't want to wait, then I'll buy new on Amazon. All right, hi Geraldine, good morning. Yes, Steffi, eBay is amazing for finding used books, especially if you want to find, rare books, books that maybe are a lot older or not super common to find. If you're looking for something obscure, eBay's amazing for that. Anyway, a couple of things that I wanted to share with you. So I showed you my hat, I'm very excited about that. Talking about books might be a good segue for the next thing I wanted to mention to you. So I got a package in the mail, and I'm going to open it with you. I got an advanced copy for reviewing of Mikey and Dan's new book, the Crochet Crowd book. And you might have heard about this. If you follow the Crochet Crowd, you know that they've been writing a book for well over a year. The book is in the pre-order state right now. You can find it on Amazon, and I have linked it in my Amazon shop. If you want to check it out, it is in pre-order. I did get an advance copy, but it will be shipping soon, I believe, and I will do a proper review when I've had a chance to look at it. Obviously, I'm opening it from the envelope right now, so I'm sharing with you my first reaction to the book, and I will do a proper review when I've had a chance to read the book at a later date. So from what I've gathered from talking to Mikey is that a good portion of the book is about their story. So it's Michael's story, and so there's going to be a lot of reading in the book, which is cool. Oh, look at Mikey's little boy photo. What a cutie pie. What a sweetheart. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of his story, which is going to be fun to read. It's a whole bunch. All of this is still story, but I do believe that there are going to be some patterns in here too. So I'm going to gloss over the reading section, not because it's not important and not because I don't want to read it. I do, but I want to try to quickly go through this for you. So it looks like there is a pattern. Here's one of the patterns with charts. So it looks like there's going to be charts and written instructions in here. I do believe Mikey had said that he's going to do some tutorials on it as well on his YouTube channel. Here's another pattern. And another one. Okay, so there's several patterns in here. And they've all got charts and written instructions, so that's wonderful for everybody who likes both. Ooh, wow. So then there's more advice and there's more setting up a successful craft show. That sounds like a great section to read if you're looking to do a side hustle or work in the creative industry. Wow, it looks like there's a lot of great information in here. There's a resource section in the back too, several patterns. Let's go back to the, I'm really excited to read the story. Yeah, this is going to be really fun. Lots of great photos of them in here too. Yep, so looks like it's got a lot of great patterns, some beautiful smaller projects, and some gorgeous Afghans. So I'll definitely dive deeper into that and show you more about the book when I get a chance to read it. But if you're interested in pre-ordering it, you can find it in my Amazon shop now. And I do believe Judy just posted a link to it. Thanks, Judy. Hi, Naomi. Good morning. All right, next thing I wanted to talk about is somebody commented on the tutorial video for the Nikki crochet scarf yesterday and said, could I use this pattern to make a triangular shawl? Well, the short answer is I really can't explain something like that in a YouTube comment, but I take these opportunities to bring something to the podcast or maybe do something else to share about it, share something about it later on, whether it's a new pattern, a conversation, or a tutorial here on the podcast or whatever. So I brought the chart with me this morning from the Nikki crochet scarf because I wanted to show you that the quickest way to turn this stitch pattern into a triangle is to take this stitch pattern and notice how it's an offset pattern with the shells. Notice how to keep it offset and to keep the line straight on the edge. And what I'm about to tell you applies to any stitch pattern that follows along like that, has this type of a feature. If it breaks up the shells to make half shells on the edges, all you have to do is ignore that and make full shells on the edges, and you can ultimately make one more shell per repeat then. So it's offset, and so by adding one more, it'll actually be two, one on each side. So see, so ignore the sides here and pretend like we only did one repeat here. If you did whole repeats on each side instead of, okay, so see this one here? Going up from here, it's 1.5, right? If you go up from here, it's 2 whole ones. And so if you go up from here and do 2 whole ones on each side, then you could do 3 whole ones on each side and see how you'd get a triangle shape then. Does that make sense? So let's say you're following this pattern and let's say you're following it exactly from here, right? If you follow the pattern and did I think it was chain 26 to start this project, and you did row 1 and then row 2, and then starting at even row 3, you could do row 3 the same way as it's written too. So then row 4 is where you would change. Instead of doing these half shells here, you would do full shells on here and here. Okay, does anybody have any questions about this? And then you would go on and just kind of follow along with the pattern as it's written for any, so you would want to focus on how the row after the shells that end on a whole shell on the edge, you would follow along how to do that next one. Yeah, nothing else would change, Kiranjit. If you're trying to create increase, you wouldn't need to change anything else in the middle. It's an established pattern. The only thing you change is anytime you see a half shell, you would make it a full shell. And so then as you're doing the dark, see how, let's see, what are those? So it's the even rows that are the shells, and it's the odd rows that are printed in black here. Those odd rows are the ones that set up for the shells with the chain 5s. So what you'd want to focus on is if you're doing full shells at the end of each row instead of alternating half shells with full shells, you would always want to focus on the odd row that follows a full shell. Okay, so then ultimately it would only be these 2 rows that you'd be following. You'd only be following rows 1 and 2 to create an increase pattern. So this would be a triangle that starts small and goes big. Does anybody have any questions about that? I mean, it was a quick question on a YouTube video, so I'm giving a quick answer here. Obviously, if we were going to make a pattern and make new charts and all that jazz, it would take a lot more explanation. But the short answer, can this pattern be made into a triangle? Yes, it can. Not every pattern is super easy to switch from working even to working even in rows, to working even in rounds, to increasing or decreasing, but some are, and this happens to be one that is. And so anytime that you find a stitch pattern that is an offset shell type pattern that alternates whole shells with half shells at the end of rows to keep straight lines, anytime you see something like that, it is a pattern that could be altered in the way that I'm explaining now, where you would not do half shells and do whole shells, and that's how you could create increases. Now, to do this stitch pattern for a top-down increasing that does a double increase in the center and a single increase on the sides is a lot more complicated, and I'm not going to go into that this morning. This is only to show you how to do this kind of increasing if you want to do a simple triangular shawl. You could absolutely make a giant square and fold it like a triangle too. We've talked about that a lot, especially if you're going to do something in a fine weight yarn like Be So Fine or Be So Sporty, my #1 fingering weight, and #2 sport weight 100% bamboo yarns. Either one of those makes such an incredible drapey fabric that if you just made this in a square and fold it in half on the diagonal, you could create a triangular shawl and even offset it a little bit. I can demo with my scarf. Just realize that I have hat hair now. All right, so this is a square. If you are making, and this stitch pattern could absolutely be made into a square, right? All you would need to do is work more multiples of the chain, and the pattern tells you what the multiple is. More multiples of the chain to make it as wide as you want, then make it as tall as it is wide, and you have a square. You could even still do it from the center point so that both sides had the same scalloped edge. That would be pretty as well. But having said that, once you have a square of fabric, it is really easy to fold it in half. If you wanted to fold it all the way in half, you can. But what's really cool when you fold, especially a thin weight, super drapey square of fabric, even it doesn't have to be fine weight, it just needs to be drapey. And if you fold it over, offset a little bit, you get 2 tiers, and that's such a pretty, pretty way to wear a square shawl as a triangle. We've done this recently too, haven't we? I forget what pattern we did that with. Oh, the Fabergé blanket. And there's an example of something that's super drapey, but not necessarily lightweight. That's a #5 bulky weight, but because Be So Easy yarn is so drapey, you end up having that amazing drape to even turn a bulky weight Afghan into a gorgeous shawl or shrug. Remember when we did that styling video here at the beach one day on the podcast? Really, really gorgeous. And so it's about the drape. If you can get great drape in something, then you have all sorts of styling options. Hi Donna, good morning. All right. Thank you. I love my beach cover-up too. It's falling apart, and I wish I would have bought 2 when I bought it. You know how that goes. When you find something that you love, you should buy multiples of it so that you have it for a long time. And I bought this beach cover-up at Marshall's several years ago, and wish I'd have bought 2 now. But anyway, I still love it, and I'm going to take care of it as long as I possibly can. Oh, Judy's sharing a link to the Catalina headscarf pattern. That's my newest crochet pattern with Be So Sporty yarn. I think I showed it yesterday. Another great square fabric that you can wear as a scarf. So pretty. That's a 1 ball project in Be So Sporty yarn. I did video part 1 yesterday. Hopefully you got a chance to see it, and that was showing you how to do the increase section for corner to corner construction in crochet. And another example, if you just do the first half of that pattern, you could make a shawl. You could make a triangular shawl in any weight yarn. You would just keep going until you got the size that you wanted. But if you follow the first half of that chart, very, very, very easy. And I will have the part 2 video coming out very soon, and that will show you how to do the decrease section so that you end up creating the square shape. Yes, Judy, thank you for another link and reminder. I did a new cooking video last night. If you didn't get a chance to see it, I did a mixed berries caprese salad, and here's the thought process behind it. And I'm probably going to explore this a little more with some other salads, and that is tomatoes a fruit, right? Well, if tomatoes a fruit, then we should be able to swap out tomato in traditional tomato salads and swap it out for other fruits. So last night I experimented with that and did one of my family's favorites, caprese salad, but instead of doing caprese with tomatoes, I put mixed berries in it instead, and I'm here to tell you it was amazing. Is it better than the original? Maybe? It was so, so, so good. So I combined strawberries. I quartered the strawberries, but then I left the blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries whole. I put them in a bowl. I chopped up fresh basil, which is traditional in caprese salad, but then I chopped up a little fresh mint as well. And I thought that that was a wonderful addition with the berries. And then I put 1 tablespoon of olive oil over the top just to coat it all, and then drizzled balsamic glaze over the top. It was so good. Now, Marlon loves caprese salad, but he doesn't necessarily love the tomatoes. Like, he'll eat them just so he can eat the rest of the goodies. He loves, loves, loves the berry version. I do too. And it's funny, I got several comments and questions about the balsamic glaze that I used in the video last night, asking how to make a recipe for that, and what is it, and where do I find it. Balsamic glaze is very simply a reduction of balsamic vinegar. If you put balsamic vinegar on the stove and cook it slowly and let it simmer, it'll reduce down and become syrupy, the glaze. But you don't need to do that. Balsamic glaze is readily available at all grocery stores nowadays. It wasn't a couple years ago when we used to make our own, but now you can find it where you would buy olive oil and vinegar, you know, that section of the grocery store. You can find balsamic glaze there. It comes in a little jar and you just squeeze it. I think it's not even worth making because it's really inexpensive and very easy, and a little goes a long way, so the bottle lasts a long time too. So if you want to make it, you can. I don't. I just buy it, and it's so, so good on the berries and fresh mozzarella cheese. So good. If you get a chance, it's a 2-minute video. It's a 5-minute salad. It took me 5 minutes to make the salad. It's amazing. And if you need something to just change up your salads for the week, or need something special to take to a party, a brunch, a barbecue, whatever, it's absolutely delicious. It looks gorgeous. The colors are amazing. And like I said, it only took a couple of minutes to make. Super, super easy. Does anybody have any questions about that? I thought it was worth mentioning the balsamic glaze because those were good questions. It is delicious. I'm glad it sounds delicious. It is. And if you didn't get a chance to watch the video, like I said, it's only a 2-minute video. Have a look and you'll see how incredibly easy it is to make, and you'll see how absolutely gorgeous it looks too. Wish you could taste it, but you'll have to make your own in order to taste it too. If you do make it, let me know. And I will probably explore some more fruit swaps for tomatoes and other recipes. I thought it was a really interesting experiment, and we definitely found a winner, definitely. All right, tomorrow is Giveaway Thursday, so if you haven't entered to win last week's giveaway, there's still time. If you have not already left a comment on episode 895 of Create, Share, Inspire podcast, this podcast, episode 895, all you need to do is leave one comment and you'll be entered to win this week's giveaway. We are giving away one ball of Be So Baby yarn to 5 different winners. Only one comment per person, please, and I will randomly choose all 5 winners live during tomorrow's episode of the podcast. Very exciting. So if you haven't had a chance to go over there and do that, now would be a good time. What else? That might be all the tricks I have in my bag this morning. I don't know, it was a good chunk of things. Does anybody have any other questions? All right, well, thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the driftwood forest. I hope you enjoyed the views, the sound of the waves, the colors, all of Mother Nature's glory here. I hope you enjoyed chatting with me and everyone else. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of Create, Share, Inspire podcast. Bye-bye.